I'm struggling a little. I'm losing myself, but I'm trying so hard to cling on to myself at the same time. Let's backtrack real quick. This old version of 2021 Sasha Pity Self, let's drop her and let's focus on the good. So how are we gonna do that? Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing amazing in this 2022 new year. I don't know about you guys, but for me 2021 was kind of like this all the time, and that's life. It's unpredictable. You never know where it's gonna take you. Today I'm going to be talking about how I am resetting for 2022, which I'm very excited for because this year I want to get my shit together. And I was talking about this to my best friend the other day, and I was like, 2022 is my year, like I feel it, whatever. And then she was like, but why can't you do that any other time of the year? And so that's where we differ. I'm kidding, I love her. I've read a lot about what to do to reset for 22, and a lot of people said don't make goals. Don't expect anything, just kind of go with the flow of it all. And while I believe that that can be a good idea sometimes because you don't really know where life is going to take you, I think at least for me it's important to have some sort of guideline as to where I want to go this year. And I think that's also about growth because it's about knowing what you want and trying to achieve that. For me it's like I can't just leave my homework to do itself. I have to plan it accordingly so I can do it properly. Kind of the same idea because I don't feel like I'm gonna get to where I want to be. Anyway, so first let's talk about where I am now. 2021 was a weird year. I decided I want to go to fashion school in London. I got accepted into one of the best universities for fashion. I left a very small town and moved to a big city. I met amazing people. I've seen so much talent since I am here, and I can basically say I'm never really bored when I'm in London, but I feel like that's still because I'm new and I haven't discovered everything. I've also traveled. I've been to beautiful places, and I've also grown a lot this past year. It was a good year on some points, and it was also a very bad year. I parted ways with many of my friends, whether that's because I was moving or because we grew apart. It was really a year of realizing my environment. Basically now I have only 2 friends, but that's not what we're gonna talk about today. It was also a year where I learned to enjoy my own company. I'm sure with a lot of people, moving out your first year, not living with your parents anymore, being away from home, all those things contribute to who you're becoming. And for me, I learned to live on my own, to cook my own food, to take care of my own self when I'm sick, not my mom. All these little things that you never really realized until you left home and you were like, how did I do that back home? So it was really a year of growth. The first thing I did in 2022 was I actually deleted social media. I just decided I want to kind of really not get influenced by social media as much. Of course, I'm still doing my YouTube channel, but YouTube is a place that brings me a lot of happiness and a lot of sorts of inspiration, while I felt like Instagram and TikTok were draining me. And I always found that I was comparing myself to others. I'm someone who really likes sad videos, and so my whole For You page on TikTok was just sad and emotional videos. I figured every time I opened TikTok, which was too many times a day, I always found myself being sad and emotionally drained afterwards. And I decided I don't want that anymore. If I chose to open that app and feel that way, why can't I choose to be happy instead? Maybe it's because I feel like the only way I can feel something is by being sad, but no, it's not, because I've had wonderful moments in life where I felt more alive than anything when I was happy. I can tell you my days have been so productive since I deleted social media. I cannot tell you how productive they've been. Oh my goodness, I have done things I've always wanted to do. For example, keep a daily journal. Now I know it's only the 7th of January today, and it's only been 7 days, but I've had time to journal instead of scrolling through TikTok for 3 hours a day. I have been using this Moleskine pocket journal, and I've already filled like quite a bit, as you can tell. I think this is a great size because when I'll be able to go out in the house, I can put this in my purse, and when I'm on public transport or if I'm in a park, I can just journal. I don't even need to like take out time in my day to do it. I just do it while I'm wasting time on the bus. And I'm not saying you shouldn't sit down and journal, because I do that right now and I love it. I'm just saying you don't really have an excuse not to do it if you want to do it. I'm not saying you have to journal, I'm just saying if you want to do it, you can't be like, I don't have time. You do. You just how to find ways and when the best time is for you to just reflect on your ideas. And like yesterday I was mad about something. Instead of getting angry and instead of losing my temper with who? With myself, and I just wrote it down and I was angry. And I wrote like, cried hard. Cried hard. Shit. You know, like things like that. Basically expressing myself on paper instead of getting mad at anyone or getting mad at myself. You see the point? You see the point. Next, mood board. Now I do this every month. I make a mood board every month to know kind of what I want out of the month and what type of energy I'm going for. But I did this at the start of the year this time. It's really fun. It's like you're imagining your life. What do you want your 2022 to look like? Where do you want to be at the end of the year? Put that in pictures. Romanticize your life. It's like people who make scenarios up before they go to bed. I'm part of those people. Literally, you do that both with pictures and it's real because it's like in front of you and you can actually see it's not just up in your brain, it's pictures. I put it as my desktop like that. I see it every day and every time I open my computer, I see it and it reminds me, what are my goals? What are my priorities? That's another thing, priorities. Now, how do I say? When I care about someone, I value them, I will put them before anything. Which means I will say yes to everything they want, which means even if I'm mad at them, I will excuse their actions. And instead of saying, thank you for apologizing, I'll be like, it's okay. You know, like that type of stuff. I'm someone who always prioritizes other people instead of me. Especially when I like someone. That's the worst, but we're not gonna talk about that. So, my priority this year, it's me. Who am I dealing with every day at the end of the day? It's myself. I'm the one dealing with myself every single day. And I'm also the only one that's there for me when no one else is, right? So why shouldn't I be a priority? If, as soon as I value someone, they are my priority and I care about them because I want them to do well, why wouldn't I want myself to do well? It's easier said than done, clearly. I'm just saying it and people will probably be like, that makes a lot of sense, but they're not going to do anything about it. I know the fucking struggle, but I had a click. Something happened to me back home in France with my family and I realized how much of energy I was putting into answering people and my friends on my phone instead of actually being present with myself and with the people I love around me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, just turn off your damn phone. As I said multiple times, I've been in quarantine because I have COVID. So I've just been home doing whatever I want to do, right? But I'm still prioritizing me. Yesterday I took 6 hours to answer one of my friends. 6 hours. Yesterday I was having a hard day. I need to focus on me. That was my priority. It was to get better first before I could help other people. Self-love. Self-love is something that I want this year. Again, it's a journey and it's not gonna happen over a year. I know that. I want to stop comparing myself and always talking negatively about myself. The way I look at myself in the mirror and the way I judge myself, it's like I would never say that about someone else. So why am I saying it to myself? Why am I being so rude to myself? I don't know if this happens to you guys, but sometimes I look back at myself when I was a kid and all the times people made fun of me and all the times that, you know, I was sad, I look back on those moments and I'm like, oh my god, I just wish I could hug 10-year-old Sasha and tell her that everything's going to be okay. I wish I could go back and do that, but I can't. And the thing is, I don't dissociate 10-year-old Sasha with 18-year-old Sasha. I think they're two complete opposite people. But the truth is, I was 10-year-old Sasha. It's not a different person. It's still me. So why am I not being nice to myself today if I want to be nice to my 10-year-old self? Looking back on the past and living in the future, I really want to try to be more present. And yesterday night, I couldn't fall asleep and I was having a lot of thoughts. One thought came up to me and I wrote it down. I'm gonna read it to you right now. This is what I wrote. If you always find yourself looking at the past and wishing you could go back to really appreciate those times or that moment that you felt so strongly about, don't. Because one day you will look back on today and wish the same. What I'm trying to say by this is, it kind of ties back into that quote of, you never know what you had until you lose it. It's the same idea. But what I'm trying to say is, in 6 months from now, a year from now, in 10 years from now, in 50 years from now, you'll look back at today and wish that you could go back to today and be grateful for what you have around you. Don't think about the past, don't think about the future. Be present and realize how grateful you are. Because one day you're gonna look back and wish the same thing that you're wishing today. Meditation. I've had a tricky one with this. I'm a very anxious person. Everyone always says, meditate. Even my father. My father's like, he's super spiritual and like meditative and all that. And he always tells me, meditate. The problem is I could never. I don't know if it's my attention span. I don't know if it's me being the most impatient person you'll ever meet. I don't know what it is. I just could never meditate. And for 7 days now, I've been meditating every morning, every night. And it doesn't even need to be like 20 minutes of you sitting down and just trying to push your thoughts away. It's not about that. For me, what I do is I sit on the floor, I stand up as straight as I can, and I focus on my breath. And if a thought comes, I acknowledge the thought. I think, this is a thought I'm having. I acknowledge it, but I will deal with it later. Right now, it's not the time. It's like if you're busy in the middle of something and someone comes up to you and asks you for a favor, and you say, no, I'm busy. Same thing, do it with your thoughts. And don't get angry with yourself. Would you get angry with that person because they thought that you were free to talk about something, but you just don't have time right now? Would you get angry with them? Most likely you wouldn't. So don't get angry at your thoughts. Just push them away and focus back on your breath. You can also meditate in the shower. And I think I do this, but in a different way. What I do when I'm in the shower is I visualize the water falling on me as love. It's such a weird concept. Oh my god, I feel so weird talking about this out loud. Think about it as a hug or love or just fairy dust falling onto me. Taking it day by day. Every night before I go to bed, I write down a to-do list. For example, this is my to-do list for today. You can do this on your notes app, you can do this on your computer, you can do this on paper. Personally for me, I love doing it on paper because I love the action of highlighting it and being like, that's out of my way. I don't need to worry about that today anymore. But it's really setting your intentions for the day. What do you want to get done today? What do you have to get done today? Priorities, going back to that. What do you have to get done today? And then next, what do you want to get done today? And then next, if you have time, what would you like to get done? What if you had an essay due tomorrow? You would do it today, no matter what, right? 95% of the time, you will do the essay today, no matter what, because it's due tomorrow. Why don't you have that same mindset about things that you want to do? Change of mindset, for me, was the biggest thing. And it's all about how you view things at the end of the day. It's all about your point of view on life and your environment and how you view yourself and how you view others and how you take in the energy and how you put out your energy. It's all about that. Something else that is self-care that I don't think a lot of people realize is cleaning your environment. If you're in a messy environment, you might feel more overwhelmed than you actually realize. And it's once you have a clean room where you're like, whoa, I feel so much calmer now. Installing routine is also important. I can't remember what it was, but there was a study done, and I'm sure you've heard this before, where it was like, it takes this many days for an action to become a habit. I don't remember the number of days it took, to be quite honest. Having a good routine, wake up every day at the same time, do the same 5 actions every morning. So going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time, installing routine, getting into the groove of things helped me a lot, especially during the October-November month of last year. I did that for a while and it really helped me. And then I went home and then it all got, discombobbled. Manifesting. I've been practicing a lot and just manifesting in my everyday life. I have not mastered it yet. Some things did happen that I think I manifested, other things didn't, and I think that's just because I'm always concerned and worried about everything. And I'm also learning about the law of assumption. I read books about law of attraction, but apparently law of assumption works much better, so I'm learning about law of assumption. Made time for hobbies. When I was back home, what I loved was to sit on my couch, play the guitar, and sing. Even though I might not be great at it, I might even be horrible to musicianal professionals, probably am. I don't care. That made my heart so happy. We're not going to look back and wish you would have done more of what you hated. You wish you would have done more of what you love. Also spend time with people you love. Do your hobbies, do what makes you happy. And if you hate something that you don't have to do, don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't waste your time on things that you don't want or don't like, or people, as a matter of fact. If you don't like someone in your life, don't put energy into them. I want to learn new skills this year. My friend Natalia is the Duolingo queen. She's done Duolingo for like 2 or 3 years and she learned Italian on Duolingo. Learn new skills. I have so many skills I want to learn this year. Definitely being more able to speak Spanish. Maybe be fluent. Who knows, but fluent takes a lot. I also do want to get my guitar back and learn some more guitar. I want to learn to take care of my plants properly, because I do take care of them, but I don't know why they always have like 2 leaves that are always yellow. And I just want to learn to love myself, most importantly. Anyway, that's it for resetting for 2022. Please leave suggestions or comments or questions or whatever in the comments down below. And yeah, so Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys.